Hola, minasan! Welcome, welcome, welcome to Coqui-san LLC presentations. I'm a little nervous because I finally made it onto Twitch after 18 months of waiting to get in here. So yeah, I had a very, very, very old computer. Well, it's not very old. It was a couple of years old, a couple of years ago. But basically what happened was that the laptop that I had, for those of you who are coming on in, those of you watching the recordings, well, there's a whole lot of explaining to do. So basically what happened was that, global events happen, and I had to make business decisions. Well, actually, I'm kind of jumping ahead here because this is definitely a first time. Basically, I'm a writer and a game designer. Let's start. Well, let's start with my name. Yeah, I'm really nervous. Wow, I'm definitely nervous, aren't I? Okay, so let's begin. I'm Henry Michael Brown, author and game designer. I authored The Impossible Man. And Master Quest was one of my very, 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 very early books. But my most recent one is The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel, which is on sale right now on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. I'm also a game designer, and I've been doing this for a lot of years. And I finally started finding playtesters and networking to help me out to improve on my tabletop games. And and I started to I've been doing my submissions and everything, of course, but then recently, global events happened. We all know what the global events are, which happened 2 years ago, and the world decided to shut down life as we know it, and I had to make business decisions. This whole thing that you see here, well, not so much this thing here. This was something that I was doing, that I tried doing back in 2011 on YouTube. But in terms of Let's Plays, that was never in my radar. And because of what has happened in this world, I jumped into doing Let's Plays while using my own IPs, in a sense. You'll see what I mean when you join. If you join me this Friday, if you follow the schedule for Splatter Bomb Lounge, and you'll see exactly what my modus operandi is. But in terms of doing this, I have done videos for my earlier game designs back in YouTube. And this little thing called Tabletop Simulator happened. And unfortunately I couldn't get it because what happened was once I started doing YouTube a little bit on the full-time side, because of what happened with the world and business decisions were made, my laptop only had QuickSync. It didn't have NVIDIA or Radeon? Sorry, I forgot. But it didn't have the top of the line graphics cards. I tried doing Twitch with my laptop, and it was just so much stuttering. It was basically a nightmare. It was a nightmare, and so I just ran over to my YouTube channel that I had built back in 2011 and renamed it from Studio Coqui to Coquisan. And for the past 18 months, I believe, at this point now, 19 months, I started in June. So like around 19 months ago, I decided to stay on YouTube until I saved up enough money and be able to get into Twitch. And so basically, I just started up. So I started up Cookies, and I did my tests on Sunday. which proved successful. But I still had to deal with some business side stuff. And now, and of course, acquiring Tabletop Simulator and a few other things off of the Steam. So now that I got the Tabletop Simulator, I could finally do a lot of things with my game designs. And one of those game designs happens to be what you see here up in the marquee above, around the top right, and that is Savage Strikers, the fighting card game. I've been working on this game, as you can see, since 2016. It started off originally as a deck building game. Well, I take that back, because I went through a whole big presentation if you want to really want to know the origins. But basically, Savage Strikers goes much further back. We're talking like around 2000. Did I say 2008? I think I said 2008. Around 2008, 2007, roughly around that time. I'll have to figure that out. But if you go over to my YouTube channel, you'll find a link in my About section. Head on over. You'll find a whole playlist covering Savage Strikers. This current draft that I'm displaying here, and you could check it out, and you'll get the whole skinny on what's been going on. You'll be able to get the idea of what's been going on in with Savage Strikers. Hopefully to get you up to date, the presentation video, but. But to keep it short and sweet, it started off as a trade card game. Then I turned it into a board game. Then I turned it into a deck building game. Now I turned it into this. So it went through four evolutions of game mechanisms. And this current one ended up being the most successful. And the reason why it's most successful is because I was able to figure out how to translate a lot of the fighting game mechanics that you would find in games like Street Fighter 2 and so on, and translated it into a card game. So at this point, as you can see on the list here, where am I? There we go. Down below, those are all the fighters that I made for Savage Strikers. There's 12 total, and all the decks are done. And playtesting, the rules are basically set in stone. I can't really find any more wiggle room for the game. So the best I could say is that, well, it is ready for pitching submissions. And so, what I was thinking of doing, because it's a little unusual, but the problem that I'm having is that I don't know how I want to go about this. Because I have pitched this game, but not a lot of tabletop game companies are either fit, because this is a fighting game. We're talking about like companies that do family games. Some of them are not interested in fighting games. Some of them already have fighting games in their catalog. Some of them don't want to do card games in general, or have already done enough card games in their company that they want to explore other avenues and such. So yeah, I'm kind of at an impasse here. So I'm trying to decide what I want to now do with Savage Strikers. But until then, I figured. Got Tabletop Simulator here. I'm in need of lots of playtesting because we're talking about 12 fighters. That's over 150 plus matchups, including mirror matches, at the very least. And I want to at least try and garnish some support, a little garnish. Try and garnish support. So that's why being here on Twitch is a big deal for me, because I'm hoping that I can build up interest. Get enough to see where to go from there. I haven't decided if I want to do Kickstarter. I haven't figured out anything yet. What I do know is that I do want to get this game into Tabletop Simulator and actually do some playtesting without having to do printouts. Oh, you know what? Give me 1 second here. I'll show you what I mean. There we go. Okay, so. Alright. So, just to give you an example, is this the update? Yeah, this is the update. There's the other one. Here's the other one. Yeah, we go. Alright. So, this is the Savagestrikers. I just printed these out. Sorry, I got a whole lot of. Alright, so these are two samples, two sample decks. I printed these out, a couple of weeks ago, with the hope of play testing. But this is basically Savagestrikers. They're character decks, character-specific decks. It's not a trading card game or anything. They're basically set in stone. For now, I've been using proxy art from various video games like Street Fighter, King of Fighters. Basically, 40 card decks for every for all the fighters, and just like you would in Street Fighter or King of Fighters or Virtual Fighter, your objective is to basically knock your opponent out and by depleting their vitality. Let me maybe hold this a little longer. Yeah. See. So yeah, this is just to give you an idea of what the cards look like for real. Let me pull this one here. Don't worry, I ain't got no green screen, so it's not gonna look weird. But yeah, so this is just to give an example. Honestly, I knew I forgot something. I do apologize. Sorry, it's my camera. I remembered everything else but the camera. This won't take too long. Hopefully nothing weird would happen. I apologize for this. This is routine. I've done this on YouTube 1,000 times, and here I am messing up here. There we go. That looks a little better. Okay. So, hey, there we go. Much brighter. It's a bright day. It's a sunny day. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is what one of the cards look like, basically. So yeah, I'm still gonna do. I'll still do a little walkthrough. I not only do I have the tabletop up, but I also got the other things up. But this is what to expect. This is what the cards would look like, basically. So this is one of my fighters, Chenbo, and this here is Brock, basically. So yeah, and so you pretty much take the deck. You just take this deck, you shuffle up. You shuffle up. You play. You draw your hand. Both players play the cards. And and your objective is to try and make your way to, setting up for a combo to dish out damage to your opponent. There we go. Let me just move this to the side. And then you try to win. But the presentation goes into greater details over on YouTube, so just swing on by. Just swing on over and watch the whole thing as I do a breakthrough. But I will definitely, well, you'll see it. I'll definitely get some playthrough once I get this up. So, yeah. So, Tabletop Simulator, I've never messed with this before. This is my first time doing it, and my contemporaries, my fellow game designers over in the tabletop industry pointed out that this is a tough program to work with. So, about to soon find out. Let me just there. Sorry. Hey, was that me? There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Oh. Ah. There we go. I'm about to start, and I got this puny little screen going on here. Pull up the big screen. So. I'm just taking a quick look at everything here. Alright, so these are 12 fighters that make up Savage Strikers. We got Killian, Chenbo, Kalista, Takashi, Alejandro, Nagisa, Irina, Marcus, Angela, Diego, Freddie G, and Brock. So these are your 12 fighters. And these are their cards, basically. As you can see, there's 62 pages of this. 60 pages of it is dedicated to all of these, to their decks. Just these 2 pages are the fighter cards, and then these are their cards that you attack with. So to put it succinctly, these are your character cards that you're gonna sit before you, and basically your setup is you got your vitality. That's how much damage. That's the health points. Stun defense, which is how much damage they can take before they get stunned, and their hand size. Fighters got different hand sizes. It's 5 minimum to 7 maximum. So that actually correlates to their weight class. So these 4 here, Killian, Chenbo, Kalista, and Takashi, they're lightweights. Then Alejandro, Nagisa, Irina, and Marcus are middleweights. And Angela, Diego, Freddie G, and Brock, they're the heavyweights. So basically, that's how they were laid out. And as you can see, their vitality goes from as low as 70 to as high as 110. Yes, Brock is that kind of fighter. So the cards that you got in your deck is attack cards, throw cards, guard cards, and move cards. Okay, and they all got the same layout. Same graphic design layout. Well, I don't know if this. I thought it was gonna be like a final. Well, it's not gonna be the final graphic design layout. But this is. But their design layout is universal, as you can see here. And how you read these cards is very simple. On the top left, you got the light attack. Just bring this a little closer here. Hopefully, a little closer to hear me. I'm trying to not block my view between the chat and the light attack, because I don't know if somebody's gonna show up. If anybody shows up, finds me or something, finds my Twitter. So on the top left, you got the name of the card. In this case here, we got light attack. This here is the target. This top icon here is the target. I'll get into that, but basically this determines who gets initiative, the name of the fighter, the type of the card it is, which is of course attack, throw, move, and guard. The subtype, this is a normal attack. There are other types. This here is the charge meter. This is how much you would have to pay for certain cards. If you wanted to play, how much tokens you have to spend to play a card. This here is the combo arrows, the frame arrows, sorry. The frame arrows, which is how they determine how combos work and how initiatives get manipulated and so on. And this number here on the left is with the 2 on it. That's how much damage you're doing to your opponent. This here is your resource. Your resource icon. There are 2 types of resources. You have the meter token, typical of like what you see in fighting games, Street Fighter and so on. You build up the meter, you spend the meter to do special moves and such like that. And then there's of course the draw card icon, which is down here, which is right down here, where you get to draw a card, from your deck. And then you have the effects here. There are a variety of effects. As you probably may notice, yes, this is target combo. This is a target combo. If you have these 3 cards, light attack, medium attack, and heavy attack, and you play them in that order, you get to deal more damage, in this case 5. So there are many types of effects. Many of them are based on fighting games. I went to infil.net, infil.net. It's like a comprehensive glossary of fighting game terms, and I was able to and fighting game mechanics, and it was from there that was I was able to adapt a lot of the fighting game terminologies and mechanics into effects that you see here, as well as other game mechanisms. So you can see you've got tech and counter, multi-hit, which is supposed to be like a perfect example of multi-hit would be in Street Fighter 2 when Blanca, would jump on you and go, like that, or Dalsim when he grabs you and he just goes, like the little noogie kind of thing, the noogie attack. So, and there's some original ones too for Savage Strikers. For example, Set Breaker, which gives you initiative on a tie. That's exclusive to Savage Strikers. And yes, I even figured out how to pull off mechanics like Wake Up, like Wake Up and Rush Down. So a lot of the fighters here have their own unique forms of effects that is unique to them. Their own little theme. That kind of thing. Okay, so the subtypes in this regard, we got the normals, which is normal. Then you have the uniques, which are specialized attacks that are not normal, of course. They'll usually have something extra or a little bit more kick to their attacks. Sometimes they'll be a little bit on the low side. Well, they got like special ways of, like they could break the normal mode and such. Then of course you have the specials, your special attacks that you would see in fighting games, like your Hadokens and such, like your Hadokens. Then there's the Fury subtype, which is basically the equivalent of EX that you would see in Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 4. You just pay the tokens, as you can see here, it costs 2 tokens. You pay the 2 tokens, and you get to play that, and you do even more damage. It also, not only that, but Fury has less frame arrows than its regular special. You should see this is Shock Kick special, and this is Shock Kick Fury. And if you notice, the number of arrows are a little less. So that's what Furies can provide. They make things a little bit more easier. I'll explain the frame arrows in a minute. It's actually very, 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 very important. And then there's Frenzy, which are sort of like unique special, like installs. As you can see, he has an install that allows him to allows cards to gain initiative. The next card, and so on. And then finally, there's the Savage subtype. The Savage subtype is basically the super combos, the ultra combos. As you can see, it's all maxed out at 6, and it's doing mass damage, and it resets the whole, and it can reset the game in a sense. So that's the anatomy of the cards in a nutshell. So let's do a quick walkthrough on the rules. Okay, so let's scroll down. Scroll. So, yeah. Okay, so this is the game layout. As you can see, you got your deck, you get your discard pile, and your striker card. And then you just have the play area. And the play area is where you play your card, where players play their cards to work their way into executing a combo. And that's it. That's your play area. Just grab a deck, shuffle it up, draw your hand, bam, you start. Okay, so Now, those little frame arrows that you saw, they're part of what is called the this whole little system here called the combo interface. And this is basically how it dictates players can play offensively, defensively, gain resources, and so on. And sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm trying my best to turn all the way around without breaking my neck here. Ending up Linda Blair, The Exorcist. Gotta get some santerias going. Okay, so the combo interface is basically the spine of the entire game here. This is what makes Savage Strikers work. And basically, you have your power meter, your frame arrows, damage and resources. And your whole objective is to play your cards and try to set it up so you could be try to win the initiative so you can execute a combo. So think of it as you're playing footsies until you get the confirm and then you pull off your combo. So you'll see how it all falls together. So like I said, this is your damage, and this is your resources, which is a charge token, or you get to draw a card. The top part here is the power meter, which I see you have out of order. Oh well. let's put that in order. Here we go. Hey. Okay, let's save that. There we go. So I got that in order. So you got your power meter, that's at the top. You get charge every time you do damage to your opponent, and you get a token. And when you have enough tokens, let's say you get 4 tokens, you spend your 4 tokens to be able to play Frenzy, cards like Fury, and so on, and so on. So now comes this little humdinger here called the frame arrows. Yes, frame arrows. They are based on frames. That for those of you who play fighting games, you know. You hear phrases like frame advantage and frame traps and so on. For those of you who don't know how frames work, it's basically actually, I'll take a gamble here. Let me see if I can. Ah, crap. I should have pulled it up. I should have pulled up info.net before I started. You know what? Give me 1 second here. Let me just pull this up. Give me 1 second. There we go. Thank you. I apologize for that. But here's info.net. This is where I've been able to take care of the of the effects and everything. But let me just bring you all the way down to frame. It should be here. In fact, I shouldn't even have any problems now. So I used to have. If you watched my presentations, you'll notice that I've had a very, very hard time trying to put like YouTube videos up on the whole screen because the whole thing stinks. My computer stunk. So let's pull this down. Okay, this might help a bit. All right. So frame, a unit used to measure time in a fighting game. Most fighting games operate at 60 frames per second, which means one frame is 1/60 of a second, or about 16 milliseconds, and you can't break this unit down any further. A frame is the core unit used in frame data. Let me see here. Yes, okay, there we go, perfect. Frame data, which measures the properties of moves in a fighting game, such as how long they take to execute, or which character gets to act first if a move is blocked. So this is what frames look like in a nutshell. As you can see, this is Spinal from Killer Instinct. Let's see here. Let me rewind that. Okay, so there's your animation. Okay, and now you can see in slow motion. So essentially, it's the frame of animations, you know, of an animation of an attack or a punch, and it counts how many frames that animation takes, that particular and specific animation takes, and that's what players. Well, that's how players in Street Fighter and other fighting games read their opponents, because the slower, you know, the more frames you have, the slower, well, the easier it'll be. I guess you could say the more exposed you'll be to get for your opponent to counter attack if you don't connect your attack. So this is what part of what I use to help with creating the frame arrows. As you can see here, if you can see here, just like that. You got the startup, you have the active, and you have the recovery, and then this is your opponent being hit stun. There's no hit stun in this sense in Savage Strikers. I tried pulling that off once. It didn't work. It didn't work the way that I wanted it to. Let me mute that. I'm gonna pause that. So if you look at how this is all set up, you'll see that this is basically the way the frame arrows here are set up, and they for the most part deal with tiebreakers and executing combos and so on to help you out. But in terms of tiebreakers, in a sense, the lower number of frame arrows you have, the easier it'll be for you to get initiative. So, but that's and as you can see, the maximum number of frame arrows is 6 arrows, which is of course the meter of unit of the number of seconds of frame, 60 seconds of frame. So in other words, one frame arrow represents 10 seconds of frame movement here, as you can see here. Yeah, so basically, yeah, I kind of tapped into the frame concepts of frame data and frames and so on, and translated it into this card game. So that's basically, in a sense, what frame arrows are supposed to do. They basically determine how you break ties for initiative, execute combos, how your combos end, and there's a few extra effect manipulations and so on, depending on who the fighter is and what they could do. So there are 3 types of frame arrows. One is the normal frame arrow, which is the black arrow, and you may end this combo at any time. Basically, you could just keep the combo going and going and going and going, and you can stop whenever you feel like. Whenever you feel like it. The green arrows is cancel. That's right. That's right. Cancel is in this game. Yeah. So canceling is in this game, in the card game, and what it does is that when a card deals damage, you may play one attack or one throw with frame arrows equal to or greater than this card and execute a basic combo. I think I got this wrong. Or did I get it right? No. Uh-oh. No, wait a second. I better check something out here. It's supposed to be 1 frame arrow more, or... I screwed up, didn't I? Well, that's alright. It's supposed to be 1 frame arrow more. Sorry. Okay. Equal to or 1 more. There we go. Then this card and execute basic combo. Was there a reason why I reset that? Let me see something here. Oh, right. Hmm. Sorry. I'm just trying to remember why I took that out. Right, because it's 2 frame arrows. Right, the reason was because it was 2 frame arrows and the specials were clocking in at 5. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright. Yeah, no, I figured out. I remembered why. Yeah. Oops. Move that over. There we go. Now I remember why. Originally, the cancel rule was that it had to be equal to or 1 frame arrow more than your currently played card. Well, you'll see when I put in execution, but yeah. No, it's perfectly right. So you see this green arrow here at the end, just like this. Whenever you see the green arrow at the end of the frame arrows, then that means you could execute a cancel so long as you have cards that are equal to or greater than. Now remember, it's because this happens during initiative. Cancel happens during the initiative, not during the combo. So that's why that's why it's set up like that. Now I remember why. Sorry. I haven't updated since January. Since January when I did the presentation. Now the red arrow that you see here is your ender. Basically, it's your end combo arrow, your end frame arrow. Your combo just automatically ends. So whenever you see it right here at the end of your frame arrows, your combo stops. Doesn't matter. Your combo ends, and you automatically go to the reset phase, the end phase. Okay. These are all the effects for the effect box here. Like I said, I got some original ones like action, which is a one-time effect that activates immediately. Some of them I had to conjure up names because I couldn't find out. I guess buff would have been more appropriate, but infill is still a growing glossary, so it's not covering everything that I'm looking for. Then of course we got classic counter, deflect like you would see Athena in King of Fighters, where she would, or and bounce back the attacks, and then of course it's evade, install, V triggers, those V triggers are installs in a sense in Street Fighter V. Invincible, I'm still working on that one. Invincible. It used to be called Unstoppable back in the early deck building games, but yeah, I'm still trying to get that one. It's supposed to be armor, but the armor wasn't working because of the wording. The way that I'm wording it was getting too complicated. So I called it Invincible. I'm not sure. This is why I need to get playtesting done. Of course, mix up. You discard a move card from your hand, and the next card you play in this combo can be any type and ignores your currently played cards, frame arrows, that kind of thing. You have to draw 2 cards in the process. Multi-hit X, again, that's those quick hits that you would see that likes to like those EX, like EX Hadouken, it gives you 3 hits kind of thing. Ken's Shoryuken, his HP Shoryuken, that does 3 hits on one go. Poke, yep, we got poke. Although in this context, it's just draw 1 card. If you dealt damage, you get to draw a card. Pressure, reset, reversal, rush down. Of course, the original effect for Savagestrikers, set breaker, stack X. We get to deal specific damage. Sweep, of course. The target combo, tech, wake up, wall bounce. Yep, there's wall bounce, and zoning. Yep, I got a couple of zoners. There's a couple of fighters who are zoners. So I'll walk through the whole thing. Once I can get this up and be able to pull off a demonstration. But like I said, Tabletop Simulator is my first. It will be my first time, so I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. So round structure. So players share a round, and in each round there are 2 phases as follows. You got the neutral phase and the reset phase. So the neutral phase is where both players will play 1 card simultaneously. So in this case here, here's my hand for Chenbo, and here's my opponent's hand for Brock. And both players will choose 1 card. So just for the sake of it, let's just say they pick their cards. So you can see here, and then they put it face down like so. Then they set it down. They put like so. Okay, so they put it face down like so, and basically, you're gonna be playing. Both players will be playing their cards simultaneously to determine who gets initiative in order to execute their combos. So basically, you're playing footsies. It's footsies in a nutshell. Then you have the reset phase where you end the round, and players do the cleanup, discard their hands, heal their stun defense, draw back to their hand size, and so on, and then repeat the neutral phase. So this is basically the layout. And the way this works is this. Both players will simultaneously play 1 card in a single set, so for up to 5 sets, and each set has 3 sets to play through. So a single set is, as I showed, when 2 players pick a card from their hand and they set it face down. When they're ready to reveal, they flip it face up, and then they go through these steps to determine who's going to get the initiative and put themselves on the path. Now, the reason why why there is a maximum of 5 sets per round is because the heavyweights. Let me just where are you at? Here you are. The heavyweights, in a nutshell, have a 5-card hand. So the game assumes that if you don't draw cards, you'll be playing through all 5 cards with a heavyweight. If you can't draw cards with a heavyweight, so you got me. So the good thing about the heavyweights is that, unlike the lightweights, they are they get to draw cards a lot for the most part. They have a lot of ways of drawing cards, as opposed to the lightweights with the 7-card hand. They don't have many ways to draw a hand, draw cards. They're very limited. So after you basically set your cards face down, then both players proceed with the startup set, the startup step, and they flip the cards face up. At this point now, this is where you have to pay your charge cost. Basically gotta pay your tokens. So if you have, say, this card here, this is the Savage card, the Ultra combo. If you got 6 tokens, when you flip this up, you spend the 6 tokens for this card to be played. And you've got to have the 6 tokens in order to do this. Now, as a contingency plan, if in the event, say, your entire hand or too much of your hand consists of cards with that require tokens to be paid, you have the option to do what is called a charge up. This is the equivalent of key charging in Dragon Ball Fighters, or in the excuse me one second, sorry. I'm okay. So I was saying, the equivalent to charging up that you saw in King of Fighters, like early King of Fighter games, where you can build up the meter and such. This is a contingency plan for players if in the event their hand consists squarely of cards with token costs, with the charge costs. What you can do is you can forfeit your set. You can forfeit the set that you're currently playing on. So let's say, for example, both players flip face up. I decided to just forfeit the turn, and I get 6 tokens. I get all 6 tokens, but I'll be taking the damage from my opponent and whatnot, whatever it is that my opponent's gonna do. But I could at least build resource right off the gate. So you shift your card. Shifting is, as you can see up here, as you can see right here, is basically tilting your card horizontal. So that's shifting, and you lose the initiative, and you get to take the charge tokens equal to what is listed on there. Of course, I'm using the point to the wrong card, but you get what I'm saying. So it's a contingency. A helpful one at that. Then next up, during startup, you activate the effect boxes are now active, and you follow the instructions to resolve effects. So this is very important because let's say for example, you have counter. You play a card that has the counter effect here, and you happen to have an attack card in your hand. You could discard that attack card right out of your hand, and you can automatically execute your combo. You could just start right off the bat. Like you could just, that's the time you could do that without having to go through all the sets. Is this point here during the startup. So, one example. Do I have this here? No, that's not it. Yeah. So, you know what? Let me pull this over here. Here we go. Let's go down to Chenbo. So here's Chenbo with parry. Yes, that parry that we all know and love in Street Fighter 3. He has counter, as you can see. You discard 1 attack in your hand and automatically execute a combo. So if you play this card right then and there during the startup, you have an attack card in hand. Just discard it. Discard that attack card. Start your combo, and you just start a combo. You could forego all of this if you happen to have it. So that's one example of why the effect boxes are in the startup step. Startup step. How's it going over here? Am I going good? I'm going good. Looks all good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So after you take care of your charge, paying your charge cost, or charging up your meter, and taking care of whatever effects are available during the startup. Now both players proceed to the active step to determine who gets the initiative. So remember, the active step is right here at this point. See, where this red box is? That's the active step. So that's where both players are now at, basically. That's what it represents. That's what it represents. And this is how you're going to determine who gets the initiative. So, each player checks their target icons. So, as I showed before, here on the top right, you see it says A, this says M, T, down here is G. So to determine initiative, you gotta have the target icon on the top right, and that's gonna help determine who gets the initiative. That's your first check. There are 3 checks to the active step. So the first one, you're gonna check the target icons. So you line up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna line up the cards like so. Let me move this over here so you can see. I don't know if you can see very clearly, but you can see there's the A and you see the T there. And what it means is that the target has to match the card that your opponent has. So as you can see here, let me do this here. Bam. There we go. So as you can see, this parry has green A, and this here is overhead elbow, which has a yellow T. So because Chenbo has green A and Brock has the green attack card, Brock loses the initiative and Chenbo gets the initiative. So it goes like that. And what happens is that this card gets shifted like so, loses initiative, parry gets to do all of its things, and you go on to the next step. You go on to the next set. You go on to the next set. Now, if by chance, the target icons are tied, in this case, let's say both players got 2 A's or 2 T's. You go to the first tiebreaker. Okay, you go to the first tiebreaker, and that tiebreaker is advantage. So what happens during the advantage tiebreaker? Both players check out the frame arrows. Here we go. So the way the frame arrows work for the first tiebreaker, the player with the least number of frame arrows gets the initiative, and the player with the most number of frame arrows does not get the initiative. So let's say, for example, here we go. Well, let's just say, just for the sake of it, as you can see here, Brock has, you know what? Sorry. You know what? I could do one better. Why not? Just come over here. So let's say in a mirror match. Let's just say in a mirror match. Okay. Here we go. I think, yeah, here we go. So let's say in a mirror match, Chenbo A plays light attack and Chenbo B plays medium attack. Since the T's are the first tiebreaker, then you go to the frame arrows. So light attack has 2 frame arrows, as you can see here, and medium attack has 3 frame arrows. So light attack beats medium attack on that tiebreaker. So that's how it goes. So medium attack gets shifted horizontally. Light attack gets to do the damage. You get the icon and so on. The token. Now, if both arrows happens to be tied, then you go to the final tiebreaker, the last one, called priority. And basically, the way priority works is that both players check the previous set and to determine initiative. So say, for example, you see here set 2 up here. If it goes to priority, if the ties go all the way to priority, then you look at set 1 and you determine who gets the initiative. So the player who is vertical, sorry, I missed that one little terminology. It's called stand. Stand is the position of the vertical, while shifted is the position of the horizontal. And basically, with priority, you're gonna check the previous set, and whoever was still standing, this actually helps over here. Actually, set 4 and set 5. I have that here. So as you can see here in set 4 and set 5, there was a tie. They tied. Oh, there wasn't a tie. Was there? What was there tied? Anyway, the point is that you look at the previous set. And whoever was card was standing gets the initiative, and the player who was shifted had a card shifted in the previous round will have their card shifted. So that's how the tie breaks work. So once you settle the active step, you're gonna go to the confirm step in the neutral phase. So the confirm step, basically, each player checks the position of their cards to determine who executes a combo. So this is where you're gonna learn who gets the combo or not. So the first player to stand their cards in 2 consecutive sets gets to execute their combo. But if no player stands their cards in 2 consecutive sets, then you go on to the next set. So you repeat the neutral phase. You go to the next set until you determine that. So as you can see up here in the first set, player Chenbo, didn't get the initiative. Brock did. So Brock's card is standing. So they go to the second set. This time Chenbo had the initiative, and Brock didn't. So Brock has to shift his card, and Chenbo stands. So in set 3, once again, Brock successfully got the initiative, so his card stands, and Chenbo had to shift. And then in set 4, this time Chenbo won the initiative, so he got to keep his card to stand while Brock shifted. And so finally, on the 5th set, Chenbo gets initiative again, and Brock has to shift his card. And because Chenbo gone 2 straight sets with initiative, as you can see here, both cards are standing consecutively, Chenbo gets to execute the combo. Gets to execute his combo and deals additional damage. So how does a combo work? Well, there are multiple types of combos, variety of combos, but the one that's standard is your basic combo. And what it is that when you start with your currently played card that won the set, that becomes the first card of your combo. So in this case here, as you can see here, this guard card is the first card of Chenbo's combo, and it has 3 frame arrows. I'm just using this as an example because it's very clear here. But let's say, for example, this card here. Let me zoom in a bit here. What card is this here? Sidestep. Okay. So Sidestep, with its 1 frame arrow, wins the initiative. Wins is the second, wins you the second consecutive set. So this becomes the first card of your combo. And the way your combo goes is you start with this card, that 1 set, and you play attack cards and throw cards only. Only attack cards and throw cards that have frame arrows equal to or greater than your previously played card. So in this case here, since this is the first card of your combo, your next card will be Light Attack, and since Sidestep is your previously played combo, you gotta have 1 frame arrow or more to play the next card. So in this case here, Light Attack has 2 frame arrows, so you play that card and you move on to the next one in your combo, because it's got 2 black arrows. You can keep going. It doesn't have a red arrow. Let me reiterate. It doesn't have a red arrow, so you keep going. You keep the combo going, so you play another Light Attack, which has 2. Then the next card you play is Medium Attack, which has 3. The next card, which is Heavy Attack, has 4 frame arrows, and it has the red ender there, so it automatically ends the combo. But what you won't never be able to get to do is something like this, in this order. You'll never get to do Light Attack, followed by Medium Attack, and then Light Attack. That'll never happen because the second Light Attack card here has 2 frame arrows, and Medium Attack has 3 frame arrows. So you can't go backwards. You can only go forwards, unless, of course, you play effects that allow you. Unless you play effects that allow you to break that. For example, Wall Bounce. Wall Bounce says you may continue this combo, and the next card you play ignores this card's frame arrows. So if you're so let's say your Wall Bounce has 5 frame arrows, then the next card you play will ignore those 5 frame arrows because you did a Wall Bounce. You bounced them off the wall. You get to do more stuff. So that's some of the ways to get around that. But of course, very important to remember, Fury, Frenzy, Savage subtype cards, you do have to pay the charge cost to play them in your combo, no matter what. Now, as you continue, as you start to work the damage during the round, you're also doing damage to your opponent's stun points. So if the total damage you dealt anytime during the neutral phase equals to or exceeds your opponent's stun defense points, in this case, for example, you do 22 damage to Chenbo, 22 or greater. Chenbo gets stunned, and you get to and then you get to be able to execute a stun combo in the sense, and which is a free combo. Basically, you get a soft reset, and you get to execute your combo mercilessly onto your opponent. So it's very important to note that that savage cards and stun cards do not trigger stun. So your ultra combos and doing a stun combo will not trigger stun. So there's none of this crazy loop going on. When you trigger stun, you get to draw 3 cards as a reward. However, if you were in the middle of a combo, it automatically ends. Stun automatically ends combos. It doesn't matter what the color of the arrows are. Your combo automatically ends, and you go into when you stun your opponent. And with the stun combo, what sets the stun combo apart from the basic combo is that with a stun combo, all cards can be played. So you could play move cards and guard cards. Whereas your basic combo is just only attack cards and throw cards. With stun combos, you could actually play move cards. So if you have a move card where you could actually boost your damage and add more damage to your opponent, like say you play the jump card and it gives you extra like 5 points of damage, you're gonna want to play that and then and play that through to get more and more damage off and so on. And as usual, because it's if you play a card that requires a charge cost, you have to pay the charge. Gotta pay the toll. Want to do that super combo, ultra combo? You gotta pay the toll. Okay. And ending combos. You may end your combo at any time you want. As I said, that's what the normal combo arrows are. Also, your combo ends if you have an end combo arrow. That automatically ends the combo no matter what. Unless you can play an effect that could break it. And once your combo ends, you automatically go to the reset phase. That's it. The reset phase where you do the cleanup, and it triggers in one of 2 ways. When the 5th set ends with no combo executed, so if nobody gets a combo, nobody gets to execute a combo. You go through 5 sets. No combo's been determined. You just go straight to the reset phase and you clean up and do the cleanup. Or when the player that was executing the combo ends. So once the combo ends, you go right to the reset phase. So those are the only 2 ways to end up in the reset phase, unless otherwise noted, like effects. So when you're in the reset phase, all players discard their played cards in the play area. So all the cards that you played, set it to the discard pile. You get to choose from your hand. Let's say you got cards you don't like in your hand that may not be useful. You don't think it's confident. Just pick as many cards as you want. Say you discard 4, discard it. You can keep the rest, and then you draw to your striker's hand size. So for example, Chenbo, you draw it back up to 7. You draw back up to 7 cards, and that's it. You can't go beyond that. Okay. Both players fully heal their stun defense points. So if nobody got stunned, let's say for example you took 15. Chenbo took 15 stun damage. Now it's back to 22 on the next round. That it doesn't carry over, and then both players go back to the neutral phase and resume footsies again. What is the equivalent of footsies? So the victory. In terms of victory, the match ends and the winner is decided when one of the following happens. Knockout, of course. You reduce your opponent's vitality to 0. And then there is the time over. And what the time over is, basically you run out of cards. So the first player to run out of cards in their deck ends the game, and the player with the most vitality wins. So originally when your deck ran out, I did let players reshuffle their decks, but actually didn't turn out that way, but that was like before Draft 112. And in Draft 112, with the playtesting, not a lot of players have been going through the entire deck. Like they hadn't like really cycled it, like really milled through through their whole deck. That warrant them to reshuffle to a fresh deck. So I changed. So I reduced it down to just once you run out of cards, that's it. The game ends, and the player with the most vitality wins. So it's a risk gamble. It's basically a gamble if you want to really spam drawing cards. If you know you could be able to really take your opponent down very quickly, go for it. But it's a risk reward kind of thing. But yeah. And then for the game end, for now, I mean, it's a placeholder. I don't know how it's gonna happen when it gets put to full effect. But the first player to win 2 out of 3 matches wins the game. So just like in Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat fighting games, best 2 out of 3, and that's it. The game ends. So you gotta win 2 out of 3 matches, basically. So I'm banking on that players who get acclimated to playing Savage Strikers as a card game will be able to be like, like they'll really play fast. And hopefully, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that the game, that one match will last no more than 20 minutes. Saying just one whole match. So basically if it's a best of 3 matches, then that would be a full 1 hour game between 2 players. But it all depends on how well these decks can get really fleshed out, and bring out the expediency, and of course how players respond to playing the game. And this is just the characters here, all 12 fighters. You can see their story right here. Hey, I finally did it. Right there. If you're interested in the lore of the world of Savage Strikers. Let's see here. Let me just take it out. I don't know. I'm just checking to make sure everything's okay. Yes, you saw the truth. You saw the truth. I have Elden Ring. Oh. Yes, I intend to play Elden Ring. I want to do it. I want to do it during Freelance Gamer on Monday. All right. So, well, wow, that was a whole hour, huh? So yeah, if you really want more of the details, if you really want more deep dive, just go on into the presentations. On YouTube, you'll find the link here on my channel, wherever it is. Wherever it is. I mean, I have it up there, but it's definitely up there. But I still have no idea. Twitch is not YouTube. Is what I'm saying. It's not YouTube. It's not YouTube. Alright, so this is my first go on Tabletop Simulator. I have no idea how any of this worked. I had to check to make sure that it even worked, and unfortunately, it's not. It took away the tutorial pop-up. So I am blind as a bat, and this could take a very long time. It'll take a very long time to do. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. What's this here? Oh, here we are, the tutorial. Is it explaining? Alright, pick up the card. Good. Now add the card to the deck. Flip it with F. Alright. Great stacking. Good. I needed to know that for Savage Strikers. Now pull one card from the deck, left click, and drag it away. Alright. Perfect. Now, move the entire deck of cards. Left click and hold the mouse on the deck. Hey, there we go. Now let's shuffle the cards while holding the shake your mouse. Okay. Alright, great shuffling. Alright. Now let's put a card in our hand. Drop a single card above the white name on the table. Okay. When a card is in your hand, your opponent cannot see. Oh, drop a single card. Okay. Ah, got it. Okay. Okay, this is yeah, let me get this out of it, actually. Oh, this is gonna be fun when I start working on. Okay, so all right, there we go. All right, you are a natural. No, I wasn't. Now let's roll some dice. While holding the die, shake your mouse. Okay. Ah, I see. Like that? It's not telling me anything. Alright. It just said, Alright. I'm guessing this is the end of the tutorial. Draw, zone. Huh. Interesting. Rotation. Lift height. Edit notes. What's going on here? Oh. Actually, can I change the color? Give me green. Thank you. Okay. Well, unfortunately, the there it is. Okay, so I'm shaking the die. They were in line. They were in line. Oh, there's supposed to be a number of times I'm supposed to do this. Oh, it's just telling me the number 6. Oh, okay. All right. Can we move on? Wow, this tutorial is not very good, is it? All right, get me out of here. No. Chat. No. Let me out of here. Let me out. Out. Lift height. No. 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 Ah. Ah. Come in. Come in. What's this here? Point. Decal, gizmo, text, flick. Come on. 30. I don't know what any of this means, so I'm just pressing it. What's this here? Lift height. Oh, interesting. Maybe I should just get to the creation part. Let's see. How do I get out of here? How do I get out? Let me out. What, this glitched out or something? You serious? Dang it. Meantime, I gotta start. Alright, you know what? Alright. Let me close this out and start all over again. Oh, help me. Alright. Alright, forget this. Just go straight to create. Play games with people. Here we go. Okay, single player. Oh, snap. Boss Monster. It's a pretty cool game. Those are all DLCs. Interesting. Wait, this is a DLC for... Whoa. Oh. Huh. Okay, what's the workshop here? Workshop tells me nothing. Yeah, your tutorial stinks. I'm not even... Yeah, just... Nah, forget it. Alright. Classic, search. Okay, so I don't need that. Menu, configuration. Alright. Modding. Workshop, upload. I'll worry about that later. A box, circle. Do they not have something for scripting? Fog of war, layout, hand. Randomize, hidden. Let's see, games, no. Objects. Ah, here we go. Components, cards. All right, let's start with a custom card. I need to learn. Oh, I can import? Must apply a phase. Oh. Wait, can it be done? Oh. I see. Okay. I see. See. I need snipping tool. Alright, give me 5 seconds here. Here we go, snipping tool. Okay. Okay, so I got it. All right, let's see here. Let's pull this up. All right. I'll start simple. Let's get the snipping tool here. All right. New. Ooh. I'll start with Chenbo. All right. What's going on here? What happened? Did I not? Oh, it's over here. Uh-oh. Okay. Here we are, Chenbo. Alright. Alright, let's save that. Crap. Hold on. Let me do this. Oh, because I got this going on here. Hold on. There we go. Minimize. Here we go. New folder. Okay. Tabletop Simulator. Savagestrikers. Bam. Okay. Save. No, not on this PC. Scroll this up. There we go. Save that in there. Oh, I should have gave it a name. Bam. Okay. Up. Yep. There we go. Okay, let's see here. I didn't even know that there was all this crazy preparation stuff going on here. Okay, come over here. All right. Just call it Chenbo. striker card. Striker card. Okay. Alright, let's now go back to here. No. I should have put that in the quick access, should I? Yeah. Cancel that. Gonna need to minimize. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, that doesn't look so bad. I'm revealing too much here. So much privacy. Let's see here. Pin to quick access, thank you. There. Okay. Now maybe that should put it into the madness. There it is. There we go. Open. Upload files. See. Or load from your local disk. Alright, that's fine. Import that. Oh, excuse me. All right. Crap. All right. There's only one thing to do. Copy that. Hey, what you doing, clipboard? What you doing? What you doing? I said copy. Thank you. Paste. There we go. Or better yet. There we go. Alright, and done. And push this down. Come over here. Scroll up. There we are. Copy that. Bring it here. Paste. No, this let's go down to 18. Perfect. 18. Change the color. No. Where's the? Oh. Where's this at? Oh, here it is. Let's see. No, not that color. I'll do that. Let's see here. Do I not have the... I just want to change the color. Just get a little something extra. Not what I wanted. Yeah, there we go. Under formatting. Customize. Close that. Oh, here we go. Word art. No. No. Oh, this stinks. I was hoping to change the whole color here. It's like so close and so far. All right. Fine. Here's the snipping tool. New. Dang it. No. Minimize that. Yeah, there we go. Just wanted to get it away from the edges there. There we go. Here we are. Really didn't want the orange back. Hey, I said clip, snip. There we go. Okay. Save. Back. Savagestrikers back. All right, here we go. You better do it. You better. Local input. Hey, look at that. We got a card. Let's X out of that. Wow, look at that. Zoom all the way in. Hey. All right, move that over there. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh. What the? I thought that was to flip the card. Okay. Can I get back the table? How do I get back the table? I'm missing the table. Nah. No, I don't want to type here. What's going on? Yeah, just give me the square table. Thank you. Alright. Zoom. I can't get rid of that type here. Oh. Okay. Okay. There was an undo here. Okay. Wow. So now I gotta do this 40 times for Genbo. Wow. I should be able to duplicate, can I? Yeah. Yeah. I don't have to really do it 40 times. Alright. So let's do it. Let's see, light attack. Medium. I wish I had music. Oh man, I wish I had music to work with this. This will be so boring. Which one is this here? Ah, suplex. Suplex. There we go. Scroll down. Okay. Pull down. I'm so excited. It's in video game form. I definitely want to do some more research into Tabletop Simulator. 'Cause wow. Which one is this here? Chokehold. Let's see. Luck. Maybe what I could do, because it's happening live, but maybe I should take consideration into doing all the snipping off screen and then build the cards on during the stream. Off stream, on stream. We all stream for ice cream. There we go. Okay. Crouch. So I'm gonna get Shenbo and Brock up in here, and once I do, let's see here. I think the demonstration will be in order. I don't know if I can be able to pull that off. Will I be able to pull it off? Oh, we'll soon find out. Jump. Dash. Elbow. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And bam. It's probably the most boring, most boring thing ever. The lack of music is quite disheartening. Let's see. Heel kick. Okay. Definitely want to find how you say, artists. Probably gonna need artists. Well, definitely need artists. These proxy arts. Use the other shot kick because there's two variations. There's a fury one and a special one, so I gotta make sure that they get twice the thingy, Hundinger. Shot kick, fury. So that's noted. And here are the last of the deck. Okay. Lightning bolt. Okay. Where's that at? Here we go. Fury. And Electro Shield. Yeah, the tough part's gonna be updating. Constantly updating. All right. Almost there. Rolling Thunder. And last but not least, electrolyte. It's got electrolytes. You know, it's got electrolytes. All right. Okay, that's Kalista down there. All right, let's see. Let me go in here. I didn't think about it, but I should create a folder. Okay. Chenbo assets. All right. And I'm going to throw them all up in there. Wow. Like one big vomit. Wow. Okay. And just to save myself the headache, let me just throw that in there. I'll copy and paste it here. Here's what I could do. Here's a folder, and this will be Brock Assets. All right. And let me copy that. Move that over there. There we go. And throw that up there. Perfect. Hey, you're gonna give me icons. Large icons. Okay. So now it's time to bring them into the tabletop. Let's see, objects, components, cards, custom. Hold on a second. This is not the same as this. Huh. Yeah, here we go. All right. Oh, it was a custom deck. Oh, I see. Ooh. Does this mean? Does this mean I could throw all of this on there at once? Let's give it a try. No? No, it's not letting me. No. Alright, cancel that, cancel that, cancel that. Okay, so. Alright, I'm gonna have to do it individually. Local. Will it let me do it twice? Oh. Can I copy that? Yes. Excellent. Look at that. Hey. Hey, I'm getting a handle of this. Alright. Next random. Next custom card. Show code. Open that. Alright. Copy. Paste. Here we are. That's progress. And then watch nothing gets saved. Then I have to do it all over again. Crouch. What's a clone? That doesn't explain. Oh. Next up is dash. Copy that. Roger. Aha. Oh, this is sweet. Oh man, I'm enjoying this big time. Hey. There we go. Okay, so I took care of. Okay, so here's elbow. Unfortunately, I need to make sure I'm not duplicating the same cards. Here we go. Put that there. All right, and there we go. Now we have to do this one separately because this is the special. Still annoying that it can't let me have a default back. I have to create a custom back. Let's see, next up is electrolyte. Here we go. Okay, next card. Heavy attack. Oh, hold on, cancel it. This supposed to be local. Here's the back. There we go. Copy. Paste. Alright. Yeah. Heel kick. Okay. Copy. Paste. There we go. Let me use that 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Got such a long way to go. See, that was heel kick. So here's jump. Okay. It's not that bad. I was expecting it to be so overcomplicated. So very difficult. But so far, it's been good. Then watch I have to do some crazy mumbo jumbo thing and it'll be like ah! Next one. Lightning. Okay. But this is definitely rough for in terms of doing for a card game because I got so much, so very much. So yeah, I'm probably gonna do the rest of the cards off show. I am gonna do Brock because I do want to do a demonstration, but or maybe I could duplicate. Can I duplicate? You know what? If I could duplicate the whole deck, maybe that'll help with the demonstration. Do a mirror match. Because this is a lot. I'll have to see. Anyway, here we go. No, up here. Here we go. Uh-oh, what was that? Quick knee. All right, that was quick knee. go. Okay. Shine burst. Yeah. Oh, wait. How many shine bursts? 2 shine bursts, 1 rolling thunder. All right. Get back over here. Cancel. Cancel. All right. Delete that one. Yep. Now bring in the shine burst. Local. Open. Local. Import. Oh. That's alright. It's alright. Not a big deal. There we go. Copy that. Paste. Watch, I probably screwed this up already. No, I got it. Yep. Alright. Whew. I thought I screwed up there. Alright, let's see what we got. How much further are we to go? Oh, we're almost done. 2 more. It is not a tumor. No, it is not. Okay, and the last card. Suplex. There we go. Copy and paste. Whew. Oh, that was a lot. So let's bring it all together. There should be 40 total. If this is all it took, then wow. Let me just copy this whole entire deck and then do the demonstration. Whew, that's a lot. Hey. There we go. All right, so that's 40 cards there. Let's see here. Let me just scroll this up a bit. If I do that, can I clone it? Hey, look at that. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Back, undo that, undo, there we go. All right, there we go. Look at that. I got all the cards in here. Okay, So this is great. All right, so I'll say I'll leave Brock out for now and focus just doing a mirror match with Chenbo. So what I want to do is just make sure I have everything exactly the way it is. I wish there was a way to zoom in. Oh, here we go. Zoom in. All right, let's zoom back. Where's the deck? Ah, here it is. All right. Make sure that I got the cards correct. And I'm not missing anything here. I wish I could move the table around. All right, so I got two crouches. Actually, it'll be a little easier if I just zoom this back. Here we go. Oh man, what a great start. Okay, now let's zoom in and sort this out. Is there any way for me to move this around? Move the screen around. You know, configure it. Let's see, configuration. Not the look speed. Nope, 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 no portraits. Nope. Controls, interface. Controls. No, the controls are fine. Resolution is fine. Dang it. I wish I could move this around so it'll be a little easy for me to do things. Alright, I just need to sort this out. And make sure that I have what I'm supposed to have in here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I am missing. What is it? It got thrown out or something? Hold on, how many is there? Yeah, 40 cards in the deck. What? It didn't clone. What am I missing here? Or did it like drop and disappear or something? Or am I not paying attention? Here's medium attack, here's light attack, here's heavy, here's heavy. Oh, wow. Seems like I am missing cards. Okay, I think that might have happened. All right. There we go. So I'm just gonna erase this. There you go. It's because I hit clone, but I should have hit copy. Yeah, see, I could see that I'm missing. Unless I did something wrong. I probably did something wrong when I was sorting them out. This is actually really hard to tell. Ah, yeah, I see. They probably piled on. Ah, yeah, I see. All right, you know what? Forget it. I have no way of deleting this. Ah. Oh, there it is. Delete. Yeah, delete that. All right. Okay. So that should be all of the guard cards. Yep. Block, parry, sidestep. Alright. Okay. Shine bears, here's jump. Dash, rolling thunder. Crouch, shine burst, crouch. Okay, there we go. There we go. Move that back a bit. Here's suplex. You know what? Yeah, there we go. Should just line them up across. Make my life a little easier. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lightning bolt. Move that over there. Pull down. Lightning bolt. Pull down. Chokehold. Chokehold. There we go. So that should be the throw cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Then now the rest should all be attacks. So here's 2 mediums. Here's the heavy. Hard kick. Shot kick, and it's fury. Okay, there we go. There's the electro shields. Quick knee. Here's electrolyte. Ah, there's the other quick knee. Here's the heel kick. Here's the light attack. Elbow. Ah, there's the other elbow. And there's the other light attack. Good, good, good. Oh. Oh, here we go. Heavy attack and heel kick. There they are. All right. It's good. It's all good. Okay. So, you know what? I'll delete that. Now that I confirmed that all of this is as it should be, let's put it all together. And then I'll copy the deck from this here since I confirmed all the cards as they should be. All right. Shouldn't they fall into a deck? I don't know. Ah, there we go. This is cool. There we go. Bring this over. There we go. Copy that. Paste. Yay! Oh man, this is awesome. Okay, so let's see. Can we rotate that? Rotate that left. Oh, okay. Here we go. A little bit more. Nope, this way. Oh, what about flip? Yep. Okay. Oh, perfect. There we go. Okay. First off, let's rotate that. No, other direction. There we go. And flip. Excellent. Alright. And we're gonna... Oh no, this doesn't need to flip. Why am I flipping this one for? That stays face up. The deck's gotta flip. There we are. Okay. Save. I better save this. Menu. Nope. Resume game. Let's see. Games. Nope. Close that. Objects. Close that. Music. I have none. Rules. I'll worry about that later. Options. Permissions. Grid lighting. No modding. No. No. Undo that. Oh my gosh. This is. The thing with the table flipping, it's so unnerving. I just want to save. Let's see, snap, rotate, snap, edit. Why can't I find the save? You flip. Scripting editor. Oh. I'll worry about that later. What about here? Nope, just changing colors. Crap. I may have to do this all over again. Well, that stinks. Alright, well, let's shuffle that. And shuffle that. Cut. Cut. Oh. Undo that. There we go. Alright. let's do this again. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay. And you shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. So, a quick demonstration. This is a quick demonstration of Savage Strikers, the fighting card game. This is a mirror match between Chenbo and Chenbo. I'll do a later show when I bring in the other fighters in. Let's really give them a good look. All right. So, okay, both players draw their cards out. That really should be a flip. Flip that. No, no. No. Wait. Oh. All right, what card is that one? Elbow. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. Card, custom, drop, elbow, elbow, elbow. Here we go, elbow. There we go. Flip that. Okay. Copy. Paste. Let me put those over here. Rotate. Hey, get out of here. Rotate. Okay. And this will be deleted. Now I gotta find. Now I gotta find the elbow here. Here it is. Flip. Yep. Okay. Delete that. I hope that was the only card that. Great. Come on. I don't know, because I duplicated them. Okay. So it's light attack and elbow. Flip that over. And flip that over. Okay, so since I got elbow here, just copy that. Paste, paste. Come over here, you. And rotate. One more time. There we go. All right. Well, that stinks. I know. Sorry about that. I gotta fix this all up. Delete. Delete. So now I gotta find. Come on, come on. It's all at the bottom, isn't it? Ah, here we go. So now I gotta find all these light attack cards. Oof. So I got it. Great. This stinks. That means I'm gonna have to. All right. All right. Well, let me first bring this card back. Let me get this card up, fixed up. Dang it. You only have one job. Here we go, light attack. Okay. Flip that. Alright. So elbow should be fine. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Close this up. All of you, be gone. Uh-oh. Oh, what happened here? That was weird. That was very weird. Now I gotta do this all over again. Light attack. Paste, paste, paste. Okay. Oh. Oh, it could be scaled, huh? Well. There we go. Okay. I hope that I got all the cards. Alright, man, I wish I knew where I could, where the save is. Well, anyway, objects. Okay, that's good. That should help out a bit. Let's see here. Huh. Well, I'm not there yet. I just want I wish there was a way to. Okay. All right. Close that up. Close it up. There we go. Get me back to the grab. What do I have? 41 cards here. How many do I have here? 40? What do I have? 41. Great. Dang it. As if it couldn't get any more annoying. I have 41 cards in this deck. Now I gotta find the missing clue. Okay. 8, 6, 18, 9. Alright, what do I got going here? Let me rotate. I never realized how insanely annoying this can this can get. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got it right, then all of a sudden, it's all wrong. I'll probably duplicate this if I confirm. Or, you know what? I could have just saved myself a lot of headache. Just delete this and copy. Yeah, just delete this. Alright. And just copy this. Alright, move those up here and paste that. And then rotate around. There we go. Instead of going through all that process of searching for cards and everything. Let me just check something real quick. Okay. All right, now shuffle, 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 shuffle. Just keep shuffling up. All right, and over here, do the same. So shuffle over. Like shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right, and now we draw cards. Okay. So you draw your cards. So since this is Chenbo, he gets 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And get 7 here. Just like that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So since this is just me all on my own, I'm probably going to flip these cards face up. Okay. Just so that we could get an idea of. Well, I'm not sure if I want to do it randomly. Actually, should I do it randomly? I think it shouldn't be a problem doing it randomly. Yeah, let me just spread these out a bit. Okay, so we got the 7 card hand here. Okay, and we got the 7 card hand here. Alright, this is a mirror match, Chenbo versus Chenbo. I mean, I'm not going to play the whole game, but I'm just going to demonstrate precisely how this works. So, I guess just for the heck of it, let me flip my cards up, flip here. But I'll leave that face down so it could be unpredictable. So, as you can see here, in my hand, I got Electrolyte, Chokehold, Sidestep, Suplex, Light Attack, Jump, and Heavy Attack. Okay, so we start off with the first set in the neutral phase. So let me just flip this face down, and I'll go with this. And let's just say he picks this card here. Okay, so here's our first set. Just make sure I keep it separate, like so. Unfortunately, I don't have a life tracker on, but I don't have a life tracker. I just realized that. All right, but that's okay. This is just a quick demonstration of one go. So this is set 1. Both cards are face down, they're facing each other. Okay, and then both players flip. Okay, so now we start off checking for cost. So there's no cost here and there's no cost here, so it's a free card. So it's a free play, you know, they cost free. And then we check the effects, and they're both target combos. This is a medium attack. His card combo requires medium attack and a heavy attack, whereas light attack here requires light attack, medium attack, and heavy attack in order to pull off the combo. Let's pull up the effects here. Let me pull up the effects list just so we can make it very clear how it works. Okay, so target. Starting with this card, you may execute a target combo by playing the listed card in order and deal X damage. Okay, so if you don't, so if you have the cards, okay, so if you have the cards in your hand that you can be able to pull off the target combo, I think I'm gonna need to tweak that up. If this card gains initiative, I think yeah, I think I need to rephrase that for target. Okay, if this card gains initiative, let me rewrite that. If this card gains initiative, or better yet, if this card stands, there we go. Starting with this card, you may execute a target combo by playing the list of cards in order and deal X damage. So so basically, I had to redo that. That was bad phrasing there. Let me just do this. There we go. All right. Yeah, I had to fix this. I had to fix that up. So the way target works is if this card stands, then starting with this card, you may execute a target combo by playing a list of cards in order and deal X damage. So you gotta have those cards in your hand, no matter what, because you have to play all 3 cards in order to pull it off. So so you have to get the initiative to pull that off. You have to stand right off the bat. Okay, so that actually makes sense. But then I won't know because I would have to flip these cards over. All right, so let's start off. So now that we know what the effects are and the payments have already been taken care of, we go into the active step. Okay, and just to remind you all, at the active step. Here we go. The active step is checking the target icons on the top right corner. So we check the top right corner, right here and right here. If I can, like I said, I wish I could just move this to the side a bit more. But as you can see here, here, I'll just move this to the center. There we go. So here's set 1. Okay. As you can see here, this is a T and that's a T. So it's looking for the throw card to beat in order to beat it to win the initiative. And as you can see, this is an attack type and this is also an attack type, not a throw type. So these two icons are tied. So you proceed to the first tiebreaker, and that's the frame arrows. So we come to the arrows down here. You see the 2 arrows, and you see that medium attack has 3 arrows. So this card gets the initiative, and this card fails. So the light attack stands. This card will now rotate. It's now shifted. Okay. And then I do 2 damage to my opponent, and I get one icon, 1 token. Do I have a token? No, I don't have a token. Can I get a token here? Saved objects. I gotta find out how to do that. And then create a folder. Oh, okay. Folder name. Yeah. Here we go. There we go. Create. Okay. But I still don't know how to save an object yet. Components. Here we go. I guess I could pick. Oh, I could pick anything I want, huh? Dice, figurines, checkers. Let's see, a blue rectangle. Checkerboard, cards. I didn't even think about that. I should have grab something. Tools. Oh. Hey, a counter. Okay. And over there. Perfect. All right. I hope I can make it work. I really do. I really do hope I can make it work. All right. So then, let's just grab the blue rectangles. Ooh, that's too big of a rectangle. No. Poker chips. There we go. Blue chips. Okay. Here we go. 2. Everybody gets 6 of these chips. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Hey, stop it. I don't need any more. Okay, 1. Oh. I already got 6 here. Okay, delete that. Alright. So just pile these on. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I'll just move that to the side here. All right. Okay. And I'll put that to the side there. Yes, here we go. Okay. 80. Is there a faster way to get to 80? No. Ah, crap. Oh, here we go. 8. Oh, okay. Move that. No. Delete and delete. Okay. 8, 0. There we go. And this is also 8, 0. Okay. All right. Perfect. 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 So I get one. So I get one meter. We'll just say that's a meter. There's 1 token, and 2 damage is done to my opponent. So he subtracts 2 damage. So he's at 78 to 80. Okay, so let me move that over. Grab these chips. Just sit those over there. Here we go. Okay, so so 78 to 80, and I get 1 meter token. Here we go. Put that there, and I get 1 meter token. So now we'll move on to the next card. All right. So my opponent plays this card, and I decided to go for this one. So I'm gonna flip. Okay, so look like this. So this is set 2. This is set 2. Okay, so we both flip. So he flips and I flip. And so you can see here, as you can see right here, he's got the move icon on the top right, and I have the guard icon on the top right. So I fail. And so I have to shift my card, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And my opponent gets to do damage to me. So as you can see here, he's got multi-hit. Let me just spin that around. All right. So multi-hit 1. If this card deals damage, deal 1 damage equal to the number of your currently played cards' frame arrows. So since this is gonna do 10 damage to me, and it gets gets 6 additional damage as a result. So I'm gonna be taking 16 damage. So again, this is multi-hit is the equivalent of the grapples, like in Street Fighter 2, Dalsim grabs your opponent, and then he just does the noogie over and over again. You gotta like. You gotta like press the buttons over and over to break free, or if Blanca jumping up and just biting in the face and you're like trying to break free. That's what multi-hit does. So because this this card dealt damage, so that's 10 plus 6. So I have to subtract that down. So that's 16 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. Okay. Okay. That may have to be improved. I have to see. But in the meantime, my opponent gets 1 coin, gets 1 meter. As you can see. Alright. So now we move on to the next set. So my opponent picks this card. And I've decided to go. I decided to take a. I'm going to go for this one as well. So I'm going to flip that. Okay. So now we both have our cards face down. Alright. And this flips, and this flips, and as you can see, my opponent has the letter T on the top right, and I have the letter M on the top right. So my card fails, so it's going to get shifted. So I'm going to shift that. Okay, and my opponent gets to do damage to me. So not only does my opponent get to do damage to me, but my opponent also gets to execute a combo. However, if you've noticed, there's a red arrow here. So basically, my opponent's combo ends right here. He doesn't get to execute a combo. Unless, of course, he have an ability like, say, wall bounce. Then that would make a big difference. But my opponent gets 14 damage and 1 meter. So I have to subtract 14 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So now I'm at 50 damage to my opponent's 78. So my opponent won. He got to execute a combo, which abruptly ended because Shock Kick had the red arrow at the end, but he did a lot of damage, and his in this round. So now what happens is that we're going to discard go into the cleanup step, the reset phase. So my opponent will be discarding his cards. I should have rotated it the other direction. There we go. Okay, so these cards will be going to the discard pile. If I can just, there we go. All right, so here's the discard pile. We'll just put that right there. Okay, so that's the discard pile. And my cards here will also go to the discard pile. I wish I can get this a little bit more top down rather than this angle. You know, the whole board top down rather than angled, but there's not much I could do about it. Okay, and here we go. And then these cards get discarded as well. So there's this card pile. And let me just move my coin over here. All right, there we go. And do the same here. Just put those two just like that. Now, of course, if this was a human player that I was playing against, they probably wouldn't be picking those cards. They probably would have picked something a little different. But let's just say they decided to keep their hand. So they draw back up to 7 as part of the cleanup. Okay. Now, I ignored the stun defense on purpose because technically speaking, stun damage did happen, but I ignored it because I just wanted to show what a turn flow looks like, what a turn flows look like. But in all actuality, the amount of damage that I've taken would have resulted in stun, and my opponent would have get to do a free combo as a result. But I opted to just ignore it for now, just to show how the turn flow works, how the cards interact with each other, and so on. So for this round, I'm going to show you what it looks like when stun combos. If a stun combo happens, what it would look like. So let me just flip these over so you can see what I got. So I got, so I still have, just for the heck of it, just to show how cleanup works, I decided to drop suplex so I could draw one more card. So there we go. There we go. So I discarded suplex from my hand. So I drew 4 cards rather than 3, and I ended up with light attack, heavy attack, heel kick, pull down, in addition to rolling thunder, sidestep, and electrolyte. So that's my hand, and this is my opponent's hand. So if a stun is going to happen this round, I'll show you how stun works. But for the basics, in terms of the basics, that's what a turn flow looks like. You know, your entire objective is to go through be able to execute a combo. So let's do this real quickly. Okay, so I'm going to pick this card. I'm gonna pick heel kick because heel kick has set breaker. So I'm gonna take a shot at getting the initiative. All right, and my opponent picks this card. Okay. All right, so now we both flip. So I reveal my heel kick. My opponent reveals block. Which is bad. This is a very bad thing. So what happens is that block has the A icon, whereas the T got the heel kick has the throw icon, the T icon. So block wins. So this has to rotate. Okay. Now my opponent has the draw icon right over here. Okay. So my opponent gets to draw a card. Just like that. Okay. Now his effect here, which is tech, if he discarded one throw card from his hand, then he would take half damage round down from your opponent's draw card. So if I had played pull down, my opponent could have prevented that. Prevented the 12 damage. He would have taken 6 rather than 12. Okay, so next round, I'm going to try sidestep. Okay, and my opponent picks this card. Okay, so he flips and I flip. So as you can see, no cost. Then we have the effects here. All right, so the effects are on. So reversal says discard 1 attack in your hand. This card gains initiative. And set breakers, if this card ties, this card gains initiative. So what I decided to do, because my opponent now has the opportunity to win the initiative, I'm going to circumvent him by discarding 1 card from my hand, and I will be using, I'll discard Electrolyte because I don't have enough at the moment. So because of that, we're not going to go into the active step, the startup step, because I activated the effect box during the startup set. I was able to circumvent the active step, which is the A versus the G. So as a result, discarding the card, I gained the initiative, and my opponent has to rotate his card like so. Just like that. So he shifted and sidestep stance thanks to reversal. Okay. So we're going to do the next card. So this time I will try this. Okay. Let's see if I could pull off light attack. So now we're in set number 3. This is set 3. Okay, and as you can see, no damage has been done yet whatsoever. Okay. So let's flip and flip. So my opponent played parry. As you can see here, my opponent played parry, and I played light attack. Our cards have no cost to it. So my opponent, while in the startup set, my opponent has the counter. So he's going to, let me just see if I can find. So in this instance, I'm going to, we're going to pretend that my opponent is going to attempt to use, what card was this? Ah, crap, that one. Seriously? I don't know what this card is. Great. That just messes everything up. Alright. So, alright, so my opponent didn't have an attack card. Doesn't have an attack card, so he can't do counter. But he does, so we go into the active step, and he's got A against my letter T. So because the A, he gets to win this. He gets to win this. So I have to tilt this to the side. So he's got the initiative there. I'm gonna have to toss this. I don't know what this card was. I'm gonna have to fix that later. That really stinks. Okay, but he doesn't get to draw a card because you can see he doesn't have any icons there. Just like I couldn't draw over here because I didn't have any icons. So, we move on to set 4. Okay, so he picks his card, and I'm gonna go with this one. So I flip that. All right, and then flip and flip. All right, so my opponent decided that enough was enough. So he's going to wave off. He's going to give up the set so he could get some charge. Of course, realistically, they wouldn't be doing that, but but let's just say that he wanted to get a charge this go around. Since he's got 78 damage to my 50, he feels confident that he can absorb the damage. Let's go with that. And he takes 12 damage. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. But now he has 5 to work with, which means that if he's lucky enough to draw Electrolyte, he could be able to play Electrolyte. But if he also has Fury, draw up any Furies or any other Frenzies, he's got stuff to work with. So I get to keep my card stand, and I get 1 chip for the damage icon. And we go to the 5th and final set of this round. So my opponent picks this card, and I'm going to go with this one. There we go. Okay, and so we flip. So he flips that, and I flip this, and there we go. So as you can see here, he's playing Lightning Bolt. Okay, and I'm playing Heavy Attack. Heavy Attack is got the T. His Lightning Bolt has G and M, which this is not. It's not a guard card or move card. And since this is a throw card, this has to rotate. So he failed, and I succeed here. So I get to do 8 damage to him. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I get a token. And I get to do a combo. Unfortunately, my combo ends because there's a red on it. Heavy Attack has the red arrow, the red frame arrow, which automatically ends. And I did 20 damage. Overall, I came up short 2 damage to do stun, unfortunately. Had this connected, or this connected, well, especially if any one of these two would have connected, I probably would have gotten the stun with any one of these cards. So like if this had worked and this had done damage, then pull down would have given me the stun. Since 10 plus 2 is 12, plus 12 is 24, that surpasses this. Or if this had gotten the initiative, this would have been 2 plus 8, which is 10, plus 12, that would have been 22, and this would have been a stun. Then I would have drawn 3 cards, and I could have gone to do a combo. But yeah, so that's well, let me do a cleanup step. Let me just do a cleanup step here. So the cleanup step, we go into the cleanup step. Clean up. So we rotate this. Okay. Throw that there. Rotate that. Oh, okay. And rotate this. Okay. And drop that there. Okay. Like I said, I don't know what happened to that card, but my opponent decided to discard the rest of his hand because he wants to draw a full hand. So he draws 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So he drew 7. Okay. And as for me, I'm going to keep Rolling Thunder. And I'm just going to draw 6 cards. So these cards are going to get discarded. Okay. And I'm just going to draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let me flip that over. So there we go. Yeah. So that's it. That's the basics of Savage Strikers. Like I said, I still don't know what happened here with this one, but right now, so yeah, that's where the game is at the moment in terms of the game design. So yeah, let me just give you a good hint of how many cards I'm dealing with here. So this is Kalista. Again, I'm just using proxy art to contextualize. This is just proxy art. That's all it is. Proxy art to contextualize Savage Strikers. I'm hoping to one day figure out maybe get like professional artists or something for to deal with this, to deal with the artwork. I don't know. Or if I get a publisher to team up with. I don't know. What I do know is that this is not going to be in the final product, or even the way the combo interface looks right now. Some pro is going to give it a nice touch up, nice cleanup, and everything. But this definitely needs a lot of play testing. As you can see, here's Killian as viewed by Cute. Here's Alejandro, represented by Robert Garcia. And I'm scrolling by too fast and not letting the images load up. Million kick. Get the million kick. Yeah. So, Nagisa. So I got I gotta get all of these cards into Tabletop Simulator. And I just have a weird feeling I'll have to deal with Chenbo all over again because I can't seem to find that save anywhere. So yeah. Once as soon as I can figure this all out, see where to go from there. Okay. So yeah. Here's Arena, the boxer. She's a boxer, so she's represented by Vanessa from King of Fighters. Yep. All right. Well, you get the idea. You get the idea. Marcus, represented by DJ. Yeah. So I think it'll be best to move the bring all the fighters in off show, rather than doing a whole show of you watching me putting it in there, because that'll take forever. Just so that way I could get right to the point and show you how all the fighters work and everything, what they're supposed to do, and also see what needs to be tweaked here and there along the way. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I'm not worried if this doesn't get saved. I'm glad that they have these things. That's gonna be a big help keeping track of the fighter's damage and everything. So, all right. This was a good start. I hope that all of you watching this recording, I'm hoping the VOD works. I'm hoping that works. That gets saved, so you can all see this. But I'll also have this uploaded on YouTube. Most definitely will be uploaded on YouTube. So just swing on over if you want to go check it out there. Check it out there. So I look forward to seeing you all on Friday for Splatterbomb Lounge. You'll all get to see the whole kit and caboodle of what this little channel here is supposed to be doing. But man, this is awesome. I thought this was gonna be a hard thing to do. You know, a hard thing to set up. But no, I got these up here. Yes. But I'll definitely bring in the proper tokens, not this, but the proper tokens, the little squares, so that way they can represent the game better. But don't worry, everything will be. I'll have all this set up, all 12 fighters up, and then hopefully get to do some play testing and really flesh this game out until I figure out what to do with the publication. So there we go. That's Savage Strikers in a nutshell. So for those of you who are watching the recording, thank you very much. I hope you had a good time, and just stay keep an eye on the schedule, Twitter, follow me on Twitter, follow me on, subscribe here, subscribe at YouTube. I don't know, whatever you guys do. But definitely, the more of you who come on in and watch and chat with me and so on, the better. Make this a fun place. Make this a fun place. Yes. Alright, so with that said, I wish you all good night, buenas noches, and oisu minasai.